John's Random Reviews. Hi, welcome back to John's Random Reviews. Now, some days at work are pretty crap. I'm under a sink or I'm down a bog and whatnot. But some days I get some amazing jobs. So this is one of those days. And it's up at a place called Sedbergh. Now, we work up at the school at Sedbergh, a really, really old school. It's been open since the 16th century. But in the middle of Sedbergh is this drinking fountain that's never been working for years. So here we are. Here's the drinking fountain, and it's set in like a stone dish. This top bit here, I think, has been replaced. That's still not the original. You can see where it's been brazed. Now, the company that made it, I've done a little bit of research, is actually, when you go online, it's a brickworking company. I mean, they made bricks along with other things, but also they made these drinking fountains as well up in Scotland. So you can see it's in a bit of a state. I talked to some local old gadge, and he said it hadn't worked for 20 odd years. No one's seen it working. So at the bottom here, it's got a little bit of a drain. It's got a little bit of a lead thing where the drain goes into. But first of all, we've knocked some brickwork out, the stonework out of the back to get the pipe work. So this little tap here is the drain off tap. Now I've actually run it a little bit, and it actually leaks like mad. There's the pipe disappearing up to the water fountain. So I've taken the top off the little tap, and what I've discovered, if I can get the camera in there, poke my camera down the top of the tap, is the actual brass seat. It's got a massive nick in it. It's corroded. There's no wonder it leaks so badly. So what we're going to do is going to try and fix... First job is we're going to try and fix that. So I've managed to unscrew that tap. That was a bit of a bloody nightmare. And what a lovely tap it is. Could be 100 years old. It's got a kite mark on it. I reckon it's made out of bronze, that tap. But what we need to do is reseat it. So what we're going to use to reseat it is this reseating tool. This is made by a company called Monument, quite a well-known company, and it's got a thread up the middle, and it's got different threads to sit it in the top of the tap. So what you do is you thread it in the top of the tap like that, and you adjust the top bit, and then you start turning the bar, and that puts the cutting wheel in contact with the seat, and you keep on turning. But this bloody the brass seat is so corroded, I don't know if it's going to work. So I'm going to do a bit of a cut. You just go round and round and round and round. So, and hopefully it's going to cut a new seating. So when you put the new rubber washer on, it will won't leak, won't drip. You can see it's cut some of it off. But we ended up putting on the drill. The top of the cutting thing has got like an Allen key. So I managed to put my drill on it. To whiz that round, so to recut the seat. There we go, it's done. It's actually cut it right down to the body of the tap, but nevertheless, I got it back working and stopped it leaking. As you can see, I've put an isolating valve above there, and also very important, a double check valve. So that comes into play in a bit. So back to the main event. This dish where the actual water fountain water comes out of is a bit battered. But this little bit of a nozzle where the water comes out of has got this strange little sort of threaded bit with channels in it. That must be to let the water through. And here we have the side bit, the actual on-off bit. It's got a spring in it, and it's got a washer in it. That actually came out quite easily. So we'll get that unwound and have a look at that. And see if there's anything wrong with that bit of it. So let's get this wound out. And that does have a washer in the back of it, but we'll replace that washer. Now what's this little ball bearing? That ball bearing was in the bottom of this little shaft. I think it was a rudimentary non-return valve. So that was actually made out of steel, and it was all rusted up and mangled up. So no water was coming through it all. And these little sort of like nipples with a little screwdriver slot, it has two of those. and we screwed that one in first, and that just so nearly touches the ball, and then you have this other one you put in. That must be to control the amount of water that actually comes out. It's meant so you can drink off it. There we go. I've given it a really good scrub up. I can't really scrub it up more than that. And the dish is looking pretty good. So next thing is I need to... Oh, I've put a new washer on that. So we're going to thread that back in a minute. The actual handle that actually, with the spring on it, that had a little bit of some kind of varnish on it. So I didn't want to really polish that up. That looked okay. So is it going to work? Yeah, look at that. Wow, I'm stoked. That's about the correct height for it. A bit ago when I had it more pressure on it, I had it hitting the bloody top. But that's about right, absolutely perfect. What a brilliant job. I could do these kind of like old heritage jobs every day. Absolutely loved it. What a beautiful day. It was a lovely day, just talking to the local people. Some of them were people absolutely stoked. So the parish council will be able to get that going, hopefully. But first of all, it needs to be chlorinated, so it's safe to drink from. So what a fantastic job to get. Okay, thanks for watching. Remember, random is rad. Rock on. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Unsubscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me. Tell your friends and neighbours. Tell that weird guy from across the street with the one-eyed dog. Tell me anything. But most importantly, let's get